We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 4 and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October and off we go on EA Sports. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Top 60, top 60.
Here's Huntley. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Huntley to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, for Alvin Kamara, that speed-size combo, just about exactly what you want for a running back, and he uses that size, that strength to bust through a would-be tackler there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
18, 5 years.
To throw, Huntley. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Huntley. Flush to his right. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Cook. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
45 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. From the red zone now, Cousins. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Cole Beasley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against him with one of their own. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Buffalo 18. 19 tight. 19 tight. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Huntley. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On first and 10, Huntley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
To throw on second down, Huntley. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Got it. Ready?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
79 Broncos. 19 Lions.
Looking to throw. Huntley. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Following the fumble recovery, Huntley. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
18 rattle.
Operating from the gun. Huntley buying time to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
To throw on 3rd down. Huntley. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Kamara up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. Lutz to try to add the PAT. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Off the play fake. Cousins. His throw incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. "33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready, set.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Set, hit.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And he's got some space here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on second and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
19 Charger, 19 Charger.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, Chris.
On first down, Huntley. That's complete to his running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free. Ray certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
So after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now Cousins on 4th down. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Cousins gives way to Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Here's Cook again. 84 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with it. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Fourth down, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans.
And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
They start the drive on the ground. Camaro.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Huntley. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
7-60. 18, Pioneer.
Operating from the gun. Huntley.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen.
Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense, pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are...
Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 60. And the Vikings are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 97 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Here we go, strike.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now in his 6th season, Kamara just continues to be one of the best dual-purpose backs in football. He's never missed a Pro Bowl, and he has the most total yards in the NFL since entering the league in 2017. He actually played in his fewest games in a season last year and still had over 1,300 yards.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year.
And the Saints answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
Lutz with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On second down, Cook. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. That good for 19 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Cousins to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Now Cook running, and he loses the football a second time. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara to the 40 and no further. So the broken tackle didn't get him much. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Let's go now.
The
Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well. And always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time. And let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.
So for New Orleans, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.